Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. So, I don't know about you guys, but this is one of those shows, Family Guy, where I really enjoyed watching when I was a kid. And I'm 29 now, and I just wanted to make videos talking about all the things that you probably missed when you first watched it. Now, these can be Easter eggs, changes to the voice actors, or anything just in the background in general. Now, if you enjoy videos like this and you want to see more of it, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let's get it started. So in the pilot, Peter's voice actually changes from a more deeper and slower feel to being more high pitched and faster as the season goes by. And then this has to do with Seth MacFarlane not fully having a grasp on who Peter is during the development of the show. So one other thing you might have missed is that Meg was originally voiced by Lacey Chabert, who would eventually leave after season 1 due to some school commitments and would eventually get recasted and voiced by Mila Kunis later on in the show. So during the making of this video, this is one thing that I didn't know about. So Stewie's British accent was inspired by the actor Rick Harrison from the movie My Fair Lady. So this is why his speech sounds so theatrical and dramatic every single time he speaks. So this is one of those fun facts that you wouldn't really notice until it's brought up to you. Lois' piano playing was actually very accurate. So if you pause Lois's piano plays, her fingers actually match the correct keys. The animators decided to go the extra mile in the pilot to make... The animators went that extra mile even in the pilot. Now I'm sure these are one of those things that you guys really hate about certain TV shows, how they like to censor everything, even the most mundane things. So in typical Family Guy fashion, they do what they usually do and they take jabs. And this time it was directed at the FCC. So there is a quick cutaway to the executives watching the show live, which is a subtle dig at how heavily the FCC has monitors and control over TV content. So one thing you're going to notice is that when it comes to Brian, he has always acted like a regular human. So even in episode 1, Brian even drinks a martini, gives advice, and walks upright. So this would eventually set the tone for him being more than just a family dog. And eventually would lead to him, obviously, partnering up with Stewie being the dynamic duo that they are. So even though this was changed in the later seasons, one thing about Peter is that he can never hold a job. So at the beginning of the show, Peter would eventually lose his job at the toy factory, which would eventually start the long time gag of him always getting fired and not being able to keep a job for so long. So this is one of those things where, again, it's a pilot. It was a pilot, obviously, we're 20 plus seasons into Family Guy, but one thing that was very much clear is that they had a really small budget for this show at the beginning, which most pilots do. If you look closely, there is a lot of reused awkward moments and simple backgrounds when it comes to the show. This would lead to the show being on a really tight budget even before being picked up by Fox. Losing his job, eventually Peter applies for welfare and then he gets grossly overlooked check for $150,000 a week. Now this is a whole, inside joke. It's a running gag on how the government bureaucracy can mess up in the most ridiculous of ways, and Peter, being Peter, took complete advantage of it and was spending the money like crazy. Which eventually leads to him getting put into court. Which would eventually lead to him being sent to court and saved by Stewie with that mind control device that he just kept getting taken away from him. And if you look into the background before we end the video, you can actually see that Cleveland and Quagmire were introduced before actually having any appearances. You get Quagmire at the stag party, and then at the end you get Quagmire and Cleveland before they get fully introduced, not even by name yet. And there's one thing for those that did rewatch the show and didn't notice, Mayor West was not the mayor yet until season 2. So this is my first video, and if it sounds a little rough, but once I rewatch it and I get into it, I'm definitely going to do some better recording and audio. And if you guys want to see more like this and you want to see more of 10 top things or even Easter eggs that you could have missed in Family Guy, let me know in the comments down below and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.